So, and here we are back. We are in the hallway, which has no clues, and a shroud value of 1. And I think what we're going to do is, first of all, we're going to draw a card. No, sorry. Mythos phase. We have to draw a mythos phase. Grasping hands. It's a treachery again. Revelation. Test. Agility. 3. For each point you fail by, take 1 damage. Decaying hands. Rise up from below and grasp and claw at your ankles. Very nice. All right. Now. We are going to, and I don't know how this works, when you commit a skill, so we'll have to find out how this works. Maybe this is something we can find in the rules reference. Commit. Committing cards to a skill test. See skill test timing 26. So let's see how this works. Okay, this is interesting. So I'm going to zoom in because this actually explains how skill tests work from a timing perspective. First, you determine the skill test. Skill test of that type begins. So we have to test agility. Then we have a player window. Commit cards from hand to skill test. The investigator performing the skill test may commit any number of cards with an appropriate skill icon from his or her hand to this test. Each investigator at the same location as the investigator performing the skill test may commit 1 card with an appropriate skill icon to this test. An appropriate skill icon is either one that matches the skill being tested or a wild icon. The investigator performing the test gets +1 to his or her skill value during this test for each appropriate skill icon. Then we reveal the chaos token. And then we resolve the chaos symbol effects. Okay, so now this is interesting because what I'm going to do is, now this is an agility test. Our agility is only 2. I have manual dexterity, which gives me +2 because we have 2 icons. I'm going to commit this. And then, okay, this is difficult because it's got a difficulty of 3. So I assume I need a 3 to pass. Now we only have 4, so anything except a -1, anything more than a -1 is going to kill us. We're going to take damage. So let's see what we draw. We draw a -3, so that's okay. For each point you fail by, take 1 damage. We have 4. We fail by 2, so we take 2 damage. Okay, that wasn't good. So we take 2 damage. Let's get a damage token out. And we put this in the discard pile. So treacheries are discarded after the game, after they are played. And they're pretty awesome, awful, just like they are in The Lord of the Rings. But they're less, at the moment, they're less devastating. So we take 2 wounds, which we put on the card of our investigator. He has 9 lives, so he's still fine. Now the question is, what happens once you have committed a card? Does the card get discarded? Let's see. Discard all cards that were committed to this skill test and return all revealed chaos tokens to the chaos bag. Okay, So we're going to discard manual dexterity, goes in the discard pile. We only have 2 cards. Now it's our turn. Okay, what we're going to do is we are going to first of all draw a card. And we draw Paranoia. That's a treachery. Revelation, discard all of your resources. Oh my god. Okay, I guess we put this aside and we discard all of our resources, which is brilliant, which means we cannot at the moment play any cards. So I guess we draw another card as an action, a knife, and then we're going to move to the parlor. The entrance to the parlor is blocked by a darkly glowing and unfathomable barrier. You cannot move into the parlor. Okay, that's that. So we'll go to the cellar. The stairs leading down to your cellar are slick and they glisten with a thin layer of ice. Brilliant. It's got a shroud level of 4. Forced. After you enter the cellar, take 1 damage, and we have 2 of these clue tokens. We take 1 damage. That's brilliant. We probably slid because it was glistening with ice. And that's the end of the round because we've taken 3 actions. We've drawn 1 card. We've we've drawn 2 cards actually, and we've moved. So now is the mythos phase. Dun dun dun. Again, grasping hands. Test agility. Brilliant. Yeah, we have 2. We cannot win this. So oh, we can if we get a plus. We get a 0, so we take 1 damage. Yeah. So much for that. We're doing brilliantly. This is going swimmingly. But then again, it is Arkham, so nobody said it would be easy. But also nobody said it would be this hard. And for everyone who knows which song this is from, drop me a line. I might have a present for you. Okay, so now we're going to draw a card. Old Book of Lore. And we're going to draw a resource. And yes, well, we cannot really investigate because, well, I guess we could try. But with a shroud value of 4, this is really difficult to investigate. And we only have an intellect of 3 plus 1 plus 2. Well, I guess, you know, nothing ventured, nothing gained. I mean, if I draw as badly as I roll in Descent, this is going to be over in a jiffy. Let's take this one. And it's a -4. Okay, we failed. Brilliant. Nothing happens. Mythos phase. Well, at the moment, I'm not really... I mean, there isn't that much happening, actually. This is a... I don't know if I'm playing this right. At the moment, this is not really gripping me. Treachery. Place 1 doom on the current agenda. This effect can cause the current agenda to advance. It does cause the current agenda to advance. So we put 1 doom token on it. So now we have 3 on it. Just going to zoom in here. This is our current agenda. So what's going on? Oops, we are out of juice. Let's see what I can do about that. Let's see if we can rejuice the camera. No, we can't. Okay, I'll have to stop here and switch out the camera. Sorry about that now. So I switched over the cameras. So we've actually lost this agenda, so we turn it over, I suppose. And let's see what it says. Your house continues to change before your very eyes. The walls have decayed and the ground in many rooms has turned to dirt. It is almost as if you have been transported somewhere else entirely, although every now and again you recognize elements of your former home. A lapse in time. The lead investigator must decide, choose one. Either each investigator discards one card at random from his or her hands, or the lead investigator takes 2 horror. I'm not going to discard any cards because I have so few. I'm just going to take a horror. You know, this is Arkham Horror after all. So, you know. Okay, so I'm going to take 2 horror. And then we're going to look at the second agenda. I might go insane really quickly here too. So we'll see what happens. Brains. Rise of the ghouls. The floor beneath you is giving way, and you see a vast network of tunnels twisting into the darkness below. Shapes and silhouettes of strange creatures move swiftly through the tunnels, trying to find a way up. You probably don't want to be there when they do. Ha, really? Really? Good. So let's see. Now this was the mythos phase. Now it's our turn. Woohoo! Number 1. First of all, we're going to get a resource because we are depleted. Then, let's see what we've got. Exhaust old book of lore. Choose an investigator at your location. That investigator, no. We're going to put down a knife. That's always good because we might fight at some point. Okay, we'll just, you know, keep... We'll just keep investigating. I don't know if there's anything else we can do, really. So we've played a card, that's 1 action, and we've drawn an asset, which is a resource, which is 1 action. So now what we're going to do is we are going to... investigate again. Don't have a good feeling about this. Okay, this symbol. -1. If you fail, take 1 horror. We didn't fail. We passed. We got a 4. Good. So we take 1 and we put it on the barrier, which is the Act 2A. Oh, forgot to look at the Act card. So let's see. Act 2A. A glowing barrier blocks the path to your parlor. As you move towards it, intense heat forces you back away. Picking up a handful of dirt, you toss it at the barrier and watch in horror as the dirt incinerates. Perhaps there's something in the cellar or attic that can help. Objective: when the round ends, investigators in the hallway may, as a group, spend the requisite number of clues to advance. Okay, well, you know, we at the moment have 1 clue token. We need 2 more. After you successfully investigate, you gain 1 resource. That's our special ability because we've got Dr. Milan Christopher as our ally, so we get those. And that's us. That's our three actions. Let's see what the mythos tells us. Treachery, rotting remains, revelation, test, head. For each point you failed by, take 1 horror. Okay. We have nothing to aid us. We have a head of 3. And we take -1, so we take 1 brain. And this one goes in the discard pile. And we, yeah. We're going to draw a card, which is 1 action. Manual dexterity. And we're going to, well, we don't even have anything that we could buy. So we're going to draw another card. And we get an automatic weapon, which we don't need either. So we're going to investigate again. And we get a 0. And we have 3, 4, 5, so we get the second clue token. Which also means this one is clued out. So we have basically investigated the... We have investigated the cellar. So... and we also get another resource because we investigated successfully. So we're going to end this round because we're done. Now it's the mythos phase. Maybe get something different. Oh, place 1 doom. Woohoo! Okay, we're going to place 1 doom on the current agenda. And we're going to move to the attic. We're going to reveal the attic. So that's our first action. Forced. Oh, sorry. Is this actually... Move to a connecting location. Oh, God. Okay, so this is actually going to take us... 2 actions. 1, 2. Okay. After you enter the attic, take 1 horror. We are almost insane, people. But we get 2 clue tokens for this. And the shroud value is really low. It's only 1. So we're going to try our luck. And we're going to draw a thing from the bag. And we draw a skull. Which means -X, we don't have any ghouls, so nothing happens. So we manage, and this is the end of this round. So, mythos card. Oops, sorry. Swarm of rats. Hunter. A horde of cruel rats skitters forth in an undulating wave of claws, teeth, and mottled fur. It's an enemy. I've always wanted one of those. So this enemy resides in the attic. Now, we're also in the attic, which means we cannot just move away because that would provoke an attack of opportunity. So, let's see, let's look at the fight options that we have. So let's look at this card. We have 3 values, 1 in light brown, 1 in dark brown, and 1 in green. Let's see what they mean. This is the enemy fight value. The investigator using the fight action attacks 1 enemy that is at his or her location. That investigator makes a combat test against the enemy's fight value. So their fight value is 1. If the combat test is successful, the attack succeeds and the investigator deals 1 damage to the attacked enemy. they have 1 health, so 1 would crush them. If an enemy has as much or more damage on it as it has health, the enemy is defeated. Okay, let's see. Let's see. We have a fight value of 4. And we have a knife, which we can use to give us 5, or we can discard it and then get +2, and the attack deals +1 damage. The question is, how much damage do you deal anyway for a weapon? Let's see. Is it always 1? Okay, let's see. I think we will need to okay, let's see. Fight action 12. The default damage dealt by an attack is 1. Some weapons, spells, or other special attacks may modify this damage. Okay, so if we use the knife, and if we succeed, we will just kill the rats. Okay, so we'll try this. We have a fight value of 5. And this is our first action, because fighting is 1 action. And we have -1, which means we have a fight value of 4, which is enough to kill the rats, so they're dead. And we don't get anything for it. But we have... But, haha, we do get something. After you defeat an enemy, 1 clue at your location is given to you once per round. This is his special ability. So we get 1 clue, which is good, because then we have enough to actually... and we're going to play this one here. It's a fast one. It doesn't take any action. And it means we also get another clue, because clues are important, because I believe that this is like so many other games by Fantasy Flight Games where exploring wins the game. Like Warhammer Quest, the card game, and also like some of the Lord of the Rings ones. So now we have 5 clues. So we have had 1 action, which was the fight action, because playing this card was free because it's a fast action. So we're going to move to the hallway. And now we can spend 3 clue tokens to end Act 2A, because it has 3. Objective. When the round ends, investigators in the hallway may, as a group, spend the requisite number of clues to advance. Breaking the barrier. Using the barrel from the attic, you carry ice and snow from the cellar and hurl it at the barrier. The barrier sparks and shudders as it consumes the ice, then hisses and fades out of existence. The barrier blocking passage into the parlor has vanished. Reveal the parlor. Put the set-aside Lita Chantler into play in the parlor. Spawn the set-aside Ghoul Priest in the hallway. Now we're talking. You know, now this is interesting. Okay. Good. So, first of all, we're going to open the parlor. We're going to put Lita in there. And we're going to spawn the Ghoul Priest in the hallway. And we are in the hallway. So, we're now facing a... Okay, we still have 1 action left. This is very important to note. We still have 1 action left because we fought, we moved, because placing those tokens isn't an action, and now we are facing the Ghoul Priest. We have one action left, and I guess we will want to attack the Ghoul Priest. Oh my god, he's a fight value of 4. So we will try this. We will try this. We will discard the knife, which gives us +2 power. So our power is 6. And we need to beat 4. -3. Well, that didn't work. Because we have 6, that's 3 only. The question is, can you actually use clue tokens to help you? Can you spend them for anything? Clues, page 6. Because that would be Arkham Horror-ish. Clues. A clue at a location can be discovered by successfully investigating. No, unfortunately not. Is there anything we have that we could use to help us? No. Okay, we just lost the knife and we didn't really do any damage to the Ghoul Priest. That's annoying. So that's us done. We don't have anything else we can do. So let's look at the round. Enemy phase. Enemies with the hunter keyword move toward nearest investigator. Yes. Each engaged enemy attacks if able. Okay, move towards. Is this then the same as, let's see, what happens then? Hunter enemies move. Some enemies have the hunter keyword. Each such enemy moves once to a connecting location in the direction of the nearest investigator. They don't have to because we're there. If a hunter enemy moves to a location with one or more investigators, that enemy immediately engages one of those investigators. See enemy engagement. Enemy engagement. While an enemy card is in play, either it is engaged with an investigator and placed in that investigator's player area, or it is at a location. Each enemy is in any time a ready, non-engaged enemies at the same location as an investigator engages the investigator and is placed in the investigator's threat area. Good, so it engages us. It should have engaged us earlier already when it spawned. So it's engaging us and then it attacks us. Oh god. It does 2 damage and 2 horror. So we've gone, okay, we've taken 2 damage, which is not so bad, but we have now unfortunately probably lost our mind. Okay, horror. Damage and horror. When an investigator is dealt horror, place horror. Blah blah. A card that has no sanity value. Okay, what happens if you have more? Oh, I think we've just been eliminated. Oopsie. A defeated investigator is eliminated. See elimination. Oh, I'm afraid I think... Oops, this ends now. A player is eliminated from a scenario anytime his or her investigator is defeated or if he or she resigns. How do you get defeated? Defeat. Ah. Okay. Good. So, unfortunately, guys, this is the end of this game. Because I've taken more horror than I could take. And there is nothing really I can do. Okay, I mean, this is a lot like the Warhammer Quest card game, where basically they engage you, they fight you, and they just do damage, and you can't do anything about it. You can't guard against it, nothing. So, okay, now that's the end. Mechanically speaking, it's not a difficult game. I'm not so sure if the deck is the best of decks. I mean, it's the starter deck that they recommend. So, okay, basically, we've lost. It might be easier if you've got more than one investigator, but that's it. That's Arkham Horror, the LCG. I don't know what I think of the game yet. It is early days. One thing I can say is I did not feel at any point as engaged as I felt with The Lord of the Rings, the card game, when I first played it. And there, the mechanics are more difficult, I find. Yeah, I'm also not happy about this bag thing. Because it's fiddly. I mean, I think one could have solved this with dice. I mean, this... Yeah, I don't know why they chose this. I think a die roll would have been possible as well if they had made custom dice. This is fiddly, and honestly, I don't like it. I think if I'm going to play this more often, and I'm not sure I will, at the moment, okay, I'll be quite honest with you. I don't see myself buying this game. Or buying the expansions. I'll have to play again. I'll probably play with 2 investigators. But I'm not, I mean, that wasn't really, I don't know. I don't know, it's, I'll have to think about it. I'm at the moment not overwhelmed by this game. Okay, so I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.